Having to spend each day the color. It's not easy being me. Seems you blend in with so many other ordinary things. Always find a new mushroom. And people tend to pass you over. Because they found new ways to get rid of you. Because nature does everything. Somber morning this morning, y'all. But green is the color of spring. I saw a post on Facebook this morning that made me so sad. Unfriendly. Unfriendly. It was an unfriendly post. Good morning. And green can be big like a mountain, important like a river, or tall as a tree. Speaking of tall, horrible post. You want to be happy this morning? I'm not sure I can help. When green, there's all there is to be. It could make you wonder why. Men, why? Wonder why. I wonder. I'm green. I'm a man. It'll be fine. It's kind of beautiful. I think it's the only thing that I can be. Good morning, everybody. Sad morning, very sad morning. Did y'all get the news yet? Good morning, President Grant. President Grant, good morning. You always gotta salute President Grant in the morning. Yeah, a little somber this morning. I saw a post by somebody this morning. It was horrible, horrible. Oh, just, you know, I tell you, I was never on the side of, I never understood the DEA. Never understood them. I understand them now. I think I understand them. Some things just should never be allowed in the public domain. I think I understand the DEA now. I think I might even become a status at this point in time. Horrible news. Good morning, everybody. Do not cast your pearls before swine. No, Beaufont thinks I need an uncomfortable hug. No, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna help. That's not gonna help. Horrible news. Horrible news. Hang on. Let's see. Let's see if Facebook wants to cooperate this morning. Horrible news. Oh, just the worst thing I'd heard all my life, Beaufont. Are you familiar with them? Did you hear the news? Did you hear it? Oh, it's just so saddening. It's so saddening. Now you have, okay, it looks like YouTube might, or no, Facebook might be on. Oh, horrible news. Is that the guy buried at Grant's tomb? Yeah, that's the president. Well, it's President Grant right here. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. How you doing? Everybody greet the president. Gotta greet the president. Why? Because that's the only position that's not allowed, right? You can either be happy about Biden, you can be mad about Biden, you can be happy about Trump, you can be mad about Trump, but you can't say ain't neither one of them the president. It's President Grant. I'm trying to be sad, but I can't. It's so hard to be fake. One day I'm gonna learn how to be fake. I can't because I got a plan. Oh, Lord have mercy. There's so many things we could talk about today. Oh, just one thing I can't get off my mind. Damn mushroom. Good Lord have mercy. You know what? Listen, husbands, I gotta tell y'all something. Boyfriends, men in general, this is men time. I know women, we love you, but right now it's man time. Guys, send your woman out the room. I gotta tell you something. Oh, I got to tell you something horrible. Women, get your fingers and plug your ears, because oh my goodness gracious. Horrible news. Horrible. No, Kentucky Fried Mama, this is not for you. You're not supposed to hear this, because it's gonna ruin a man's life and your life. No, this is the worst thing I never heard. Hang on, let's bring in the Facebook comments and we'll get to going. Oh, just the horrible. Asteroid? No, worse than that. Oh, it's worse than that. You know, another great flood? Nope. Hell no, it's worse than that. Somebody's already laughing. That's somebody who did their homework. Damn it. It's horrible. I got a DEA badge. Where the hell is the Facebook comments? I gotta get the news. I gotta give the news. This is the most important news I'd never heard in my lifetime. I wish I ain't never heard it. Ruined everything. I'm not even sure I even care anymore, y'all. I don't know if I care. Maybe, you know, we just need to go on and go extinct. Because I just no more purpose. There ain't no more purpose. Let me show you. I'm going to show you the assailant. Hold on. I'm going to show you the assailant. Horrible news. Oh, I didn't, damn it. See, I'm so mad. I didn't even put it on public yet. My profile, the video is on friends only. Hold on, I'll make it public because every man on the planet need to know this right here. All right, there go the comment right here. Oh, it's horrible. All right, women, when you got your ears plugged, then let me know. Men, y'all here? We need to have we got to have a conversation about this nonsense. This has got to stop. This has got to stop. See, and this is the problem with persistence, because when you're constantly trying to replace somebody, eventually they'll figure out how to do it. Nature has a solution for every damn thing. Man, this is the worst news I never heard in my lifetime. Hang on. Let me get my badge. I got a DEA badge. I'm about to put this joke on right here. Some compounds, you got to schedule one. This is one of them. Oh, this is horrible news. All right, I'm so sad. I don't even know what to do with myself. Hold on. Where's my badge? Let me get my badge. I got a badge. I got a badge right here. I got a badge right here. Here you go. Boom. My DEA badge. I'm gonna put this joke on right now. Sometimes you got to crony up and pony up. Sometimes you got to crony up because they ain't got the pony up. Oh, it's horrible news. Here we go, right there. DEA badge right there, official. And I think it goes on this side, right? Let me sit up. Boom, right there. I believe in Schedule 1 now. Some compounds y'all just cannot have. Okay, here's a plug. Let me show you this. Let me turn the music on. Good morning, everybody. Hope y'all having a good day. I am not. And if you're a man, you're about to have a worse day. Evil has come to town. Evil has come to town, and it looked just like this right here. This is it right here. This is the worst thing I'd never heard in my life. All right, hopefully the women's ears are covered. You know, women, they like Kathy. Yes, covered. And they ain't covered. They're tagging every girlfriend they know. I've not even seen the comments yet. Like, oh, girls, it's something that we need to know. So we in trouble. Hang on. Unity. Everybody think unity for a minute before I show you this. Unity. Just think unity. We in this together, y'all. Love. Got to be in it together. And women who already know what I'm talking about is they're like, oh no, we was never in it together. No, sir. No. Together, it was never it was y'all, and y'all told us what to do. You done built the patriarchal world, and yeah, no, it wasn't never no deal. Don't start talking that together. Oh, there you go, the assailant right there. That's her name. She just then came. You did this. You right there. Her name is Deanna Lou. She did this. This is the evil woman and brought this to my morning. Hang on. Let me change the music. Because that's happy music. I need some sad music. I need to find some sad music. This is horrible. This is the worst news I never heard. That's the worst news I ever heard. Here we go. Yeah, that's sad enough. That's sad enough. Good morning, everybody. It's not a good morning. I might tear up on this one. I might tear up a little. Men, are you sitting down? Sit down. I need you to sit down. I'm gonna show you this right here. This is sometimes there are some things the human race just is not ready for just yet. This was a post that came across my feed. It's the most evil thing I never heard. The most evil thing I never heard. I don't know why anybody would do something as evil as this. You understand, men, that they've been trying to replace us for the longest time. They can have babies without us. And now somebody evil enough to found a damn mushroom that replaces the only function that they even need you for anymore. They can fix their own cars. They can build their own houses. They go to the gym now. They strong. They know karate. They can defend themselves. The only thing we didn't have left, they didn't need us for no babies. And now, on the cusp of the end of the damn world, and this is why they release the alien videos. This is why they do this. See, this is how they work, people. This is how they work. They divide us, separate us, convince us we don't need each other. So this is the most evilest thing I never heard. They have a mushroom that women can just sniff and divorce their husband. Just throw them right out the house. I don't need you for food, don't need you for water, don't need you for jobs, don't need you to fix the car, don't need you to fix the house, don't need you for the plumbing, and I damn sure don't need you for the plumbing. You take too long anyway, damn it. Men, we gotta have a strategy here. I don't know what we want to do. I'm not sure how we're gonna get through this one, man. I'm not even sure, because we still got sweat glands, we got musk, we get stinky and stuff. Mushrooms don't stink. They actually smell pretty good. They grow every damn way. Everywhere some forest and some shade and moisture. They grow. It's women that specialize in growing mushrooms, man. Oh my God. I don't know what we're gonna do. I have no idea what we're gonna do. I'm actually lying, because I already know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do. Oh no, this is good news, people. No, women, y'all thought y'all was like, we got him. No, because you can't see what's in front of me right now. That's my essential, that's my distiller right there, right? I got 2 of them. Yeah, it was a good movie in the 80s, man. Y'all remember the name of that movie? It was called Chanel 39 or Perfume 97 or something. Y'all remember that movie? Somebody laughing. Somebody remembers this movie where they extracted something from something and they put it in cologne. Yeah, buddy. We gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna give me some mushrooms. I'm gonna grow them mushrooms. I'm gonna distill them jokers, get some essential oils out of it, and guess what I'm gonna do? Yes, sir. Talking about walk up in the club then. Yeah. See, this is actually good news for men that's had some trouble. This is good news for men that's had some trouble. Like, baby, what's for dinner? Oh, I'm making mushroom pasta. But you have to limit the amounts, because you put too much in, then it's like, then they go right to sleep at the table. That's it. Then there go that criminal right there, Deanna Lou. Love potion number 9. Love potion, yes sir, yes sir. Shoot, I think, Deanna, this might even be the solution for people trying to come and give me the whole cure to show up to my house. I was gonna do the essential oil, poison ivy. I think now I'm gonna do the essential oil mushroom oils. Can you imagine what would happen if people come in your house and they doing stuff that you don't want them to be doing, and you got a fan or something, you can blow some oils in the face. In the moment you can get away. In the moment they come and say, "Sir, we're coming to give you your shot. Come here." Elbow, uppercut, run. All right, I'm done. Good morning, everybody. No, where my badge at? No, I still believe in the DEA. No, I understand that. Now I understand the pharmaceutical industry. I do. Where's my DEA badge? Right there. Because that's not going to work. That's not going to work, because women will get away around that. They'll figure out. They just sneaky. They're always trying to figure something out. Since they've been making them little wooden things. The wooden thing, I thought it was a spear. My friends posted it. It wasn't no spear. It was actually something else. They've been working on replacing us a long time. They figured out another way. Sorry. That's not what I want to talk about. That's not, but I am going to relate that to the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers in the pharmaceutical industry and why they ban certain compounds, because they don't need you to have these things. They don't feel that you're ready for them. You know, sometimes you have to crony up. You got to crony up. Rockefeller medicine realized that if there was safer, more effective things out there to get to the end, to cure you, to help you, then nobody would buy their products. So they had to ban certain things in order to stay relevant, to stay in power. I'm sorry, I'm still thinking through this one. I've not figured this one out yet, but I think we have to schedule one. I think that's what we have a DEA for. You can't let power change too sharply. I'm now in favor of the DEA. Okay, I got to start somewhere this morning. I have to start right here. Because I think the Matrix is revealing stuff to us. I don't know if y'all know, but the new executive orders are here. You can tell the women, they can uncover their ears now. The evil news is out. I'm gonna try to stay happy this morning. I'm gonna try to buck up a little bit. It's just hard. It's hard. It's not easy, y'all. It's rough. It's rough in this world. Conflict-based society. Everybody's trying to replace everybody. All right, let me show you this real quick. This was a good assessment of what is going on. I think if you're paying attention, you will know what they're up to if you're paying attention. A couple things we got to talk about. Well, no, I can't tell you what we got to talk about. If I do that, they'll probably delete the video before I even get started. The whole ticket coming out. Digital book burning is happening all over the internet right now. And eventually they're going to come for me. I'm not ready to go today. So let me show you this here real quick. Real quick. You start to reveal what the matrix is up to. You can read the code, look for the principle, ignore the identity and the personality. You will see what these people are up to. These jokers are obviously up to no good. And it ain't as good as that damn mushroom. That evil damn thing. I gotta say that. That's just horrible.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the Liberty Report. With me today is Daniel McAdams, our co-host. Daniel, good to see you today.
Happy Monday, Dr. Paul. How are you?
I'm doing well, and I think we had a very successful weekend with the Mises Institute in town, and in spite of our governor, we even found a place where they could meet.
Yes.
And they had a full audience where they could have had twice as many people, but they did find one venue where they had it, and it was very exciting, and the weather was good. We didn't have to worry about that, so we had a nice weekend, a lot better weekend than some other people trying to deal with the virus. You know, we just didn't worry about the virus, so we did fine. But today there's more worry about the virus and what is going on and the election. Is the election over? Obviously not. Nobody's so sure who won. The Democrats are sure who won, and the Republicans aren't quite so sure. But you know, it's amazing how important it is to declare oneself a winner. And of course, the Democrats said that Biden won, so everybody became very, very euphoric over the whole thing. But there's a long way to go. There's going to be a lot of discussion about what's going on. I think that victory in elections, are so relative. And even in my little talk yesterday with the Mises Institute, I talked about, the LBJ election, and also it would include George Bush's, efforts in the Middle East. The victory seemed to be just fantastic. LBJ finally gets all his power, and he's going to end the war that was other people started, and of course George Bush had it. But guess what? LBJ's whole foreign policy about Vietnam, it was based on lies. And the same thing with George W. Bush. His war was based on lies too, and both of those ended very badly for them individually. They lost all credibility. They participated in the death of many individuals, which was unnecessary if we had not been in those wars. And so right now, what's going to happen in foreign policy or wherever, but the war now is the war against ourselves, the war against the virus, the war against the people and the lockdown and these things going on. So there's a lot at stake. Probably the civil liberties are as vulnerable as they were even during wartime, but there certainly is a lot of concern. But this morning, we wake up and all of a sudden, wow, it looks like everything is okay. Stock market is soaring, up 1,700 points. The dollar is going up, way up compared to gold, which means people trust the dollar, and there's no major crisis in the world. So things on the surface look good, and Biden's there busy planning what to do, and make sure there's lockdown and whatever he thinks he can get away with. But it's really a big mess, and when you have to dissect this out, say, who really is winning this? We're suggesting that maybe the people who get to manufacture vaccines might be the winner. The people who's been advocating this system, and certainly there's two names that we've come to mind, and we've talked about them a lot, and that's Fauci and Gates. They've been advocating this. But the question is, are they going to, ride along in their euphoria and say that they're winning this, they have the vaccine, everybody is happy, or will their reputation end up like LBJ's reputation and George W. Bush's reputation? They ended up, very low in the polls when the dust settled. So there's a lot to be sorted out, because quite frankly, I think the euphoric part of what's happening momentarily here, that there's no big, the markets are saying there's no big deal about the election. Oh yeah, there might be a couple votes here and there, but it's not a big deal. Well, most people know a little bit about Donald Trump. He's probably not going to just walk away from this. And there's evidence popping up that there may well have been a lot of fraud. And if there was, he's not going to let it go. And I'm all for the investigation. I'm not that optimistic that all of a sudden these stories coming out to show how many votes probably were stolen will change things, because the deep state is still very, very powerful. I think the deep state's very much involved with this vaccine, and I think the vaccine euphoria is fake too. How do they know? 90% effective?
Yeah. And
I have some articles here that even the establishment over the last year warning about the vaccine and how difficult it was. Now the pandemic's over, and they're totally excited about this, but they're also talking. And I think the most important thing that I want to emphasize in what's happening right now is that they look like they have a vaccine, whether it's going to work or not, but they're talking about a mandated vaccine, and they're capable of that. If they can mandate and have little kids suffer through putting silly masks on their faces and halfway ruining some of their lives, I'll tell you what, they're capable of doing a lot of harm, and yet that's what is involved. And this mandated vaccine, I think, is very, very dangerous. And even some established people, you can even probably find Fauci saying some of since he's been on both sides of every issue, he's probably made the statements, how dangerous this is. But anyway, anything that requires mandates, whether it's Obamacare or getting a vaccine, I think is dangerous. It's a completely opposite to the libertarian solution of voluntarism. Don't be forced to do it. It's your life, and you're responsible. So a lot's up for grabs, and maybe in the next few days we'll find out, more with more certainty whether or not the Trump organization get the attention it deserves. At least some investigation. I think they should do it to set the record straight. To have it on the record. Regardless, because I think it's going to be very difficult to overthrow, or if he gets sworn in, that's never taken care of. So it should be there, so at least people know, how this thing has occurred, because it should be helpful in the next generation. But we keep saying this. How come they keep doing this? They know these things that they're doing on mandates and lockdown aren't helpful, yet they still come out and think they're going to save the world with all their dictatorial powers.
Well, the idea of forced medical treatment is really something out of the Soviet Union. And unfortunately, the technology that we have today is so much more advanced in terms of tracking and tracing, prohibiting you from going to your job, forbidding you from going to school, forbidding you from having transactions at stores, et cetera, if you don't have this mandated vaccine, if it's mandated. This is not something that you see in a free society. If this vaccine is everything it's cracked up to be, people will line up to take it, those who wish to take it. And the whole theory behind the vaccine is such that if enough people line up to take it, they hate to use this word, but there will be a herd immunity, that this vaccine, that the virus will be stopped in its tracks. But on the election, this is almost a week past the time that Americans voted. Some Americans voted many times probably, but we still really don't know, even though, of course, the mainstream media, including Fox, which very, very bizarrely, and we talked about this before, called Arizona for Biden before any votes were counted in the more conservative areas, and that sort of stopped the whole process, shut down the counting, and then overnight, thousands and hundreds of thousands of ballots in places like Wisconsin and Michigan were discovered, and they were 100% for Biden, which is really an anomaly, beyond an anomaly. It's incomprehensible. We have Sidney Powell is the president, is helping the president out with these challenges, and she was on Fox. She was on with Maria Bartiromo yesterday, I believe, and she said they found 450,000 ballots that only have Joe Biden voted for. And that's something that doesn't happen. When people go vote, they'll vote for Biden, and usually the Democrat senator, some local people. But these are 450,000 ballots dumped with just Biden's name marked. Certainly raises huge questions. And then the Michigan software error using the Dominion voting systems, this software that mysteriously switched thousands of Trump votes to Biden, and then they found it and said, oh gosh, let's switch those back because they actually were for Trump. This Dominion voting system was used in 47 other counties in Michigan alone and up to 30 other states. So at the very least, regardless of who you supported for president, and we on this show, of course, supported no one for president, literally, you have to get to the bottom of this. If you care about who won, if you care about the future of voting and of elections in the country, the integrity of elections, these things have got to be sussed out.
You know, there have been a few Democrats that have come into the open and started explaining, that have been aware of this. It's not like this is the first time this happened. They knew the process, and they described it very vividly. You know, if it's a tight race and they know about it, they have to somehow or another suspend the voting, take a pause on the voting, and they would typically wait till the middle of the night, and then all of a sudden these extra ballots would arrive and appear, and that's exactly what happened. But it's not like this is the first time it happened. But I imagine this has probably been one of the biggest, examples of fraud. The number of votes that they've stolen, even though it's not the first time.
Yeah, not the first time. And this whole issue of suspending the counting for several hours, and then mysteriously hundreds of thousands of votes coming in, all 100% for Biden in several different areas. But of course, I think it will be an uphill battle right now, because even if you identify fraud, it's hard to identify that we vote in anonymously. It's hard to identify which ballots and who will have done it. And of course, the main thing, and I've seen a lot of fraudulent elections as an observer, the main thing you have to do is get ahead and establish facts on the ground. And that's absolutely what Biden did. He had the entirety of the mainstream media behind him, established the facts on the ground, and also established that anyone questioning these things is a crazy conspiracy theorist and a kook who hates America. Interestingly enough, some of the things that we noticed that we criticize people for overseas. For example, remember over the weekend I read the U.S. statement on the elections in Belarus, which of course the U.S. doesn't recognize. One of the things that they point out, the U.S. points out, is that in Belarus they limited internet access and they used internet censorship to prevent people from expressing their concerns about the integrity of the vote. Well, that's exactly what's happening here. People are being banned from Facebook, banned from Twitter, not allowed to talk about it. Stories are being buried by Google. And we had one of the presentations from Professor Rechtenwald over the weekend talking about the CIA roots and origins of Google and Facebook and the others, the seed money coming from the CIA. So we have in spades in our country what we criticize other countries for with regard to elections.
You know, one of my simple solutions and phrases I use to solve some of our problems is, part of it is don't tell, people aren't allowed to tell laws.
Yeah.
Governments can't tell laws, but that's a big request. You can't expect that to happen, because just think of I mentioned the wars, whether it was Vietnam or the Middle East, that was all based on lies. And here we've had lies dealing with the virus, a lot of mistakes, but a lot of lying too. And then the danger of the virus, that's an exaggeration, and that's been, fear, to build the fear mongering, that's based on lie. And now also the lying about the election. It's all interrelated. So and it seems like the longer they go, the bigger the lies. And then of course people see this as shrewd politics. If you can lie and get away with it, you're not considered somebody who has committed some type of a moral crime. They're just considering the fact that they got away with it, and that is this. We live in a who's going to be believed? They're going to be challenged. The things you've cited already, it sounds so logical. And anybody who had any leanings toward honesty and toward Trump are going to say, we need to check this out. So that is the important. Bobulinski, I think, is the person we shouldn't forget.
Yeah, that's true.
He was on the air for a while, and Fox had him on. But we don't hear much about him now because they've sort of pushed that aside. That was irrelevant and proved it wasn't important in the election. But if we're looking for somebody, you know, some of these things I thought that has to be true, but I'm not really at the point where, you know, I could legally prove what the people are saying and my instincts are. But Walensky, he was credible, and he really tied it together. At least he describes what the Biden family's like, and that should make you very suspect that they're quite capable of stealing an election.
Well, they wanted to stay out of the slammer is one of the reasons probably why they stole it. But, you know, Biden is hitting the ground running. He is not waiting. He's pretending he's president, already even pretending he's president. One of the things that he's done is he's already assembled his coronavirus task force. One of the people on his task force is Zeke Emanuel. He's the brother of Rahm Emanuel. Remember, never let a crisis go to waste? Zeke Emanuel is a big supporter of lockdowns. He's the one that said we need to stay locked down with mask mandates for 12 to 18 months. Of course, he's an oncologist, not an epidemiologist, but it only counts when it comes to Atlas if you're not an epidemiologist. But he's this is the Biden statement on the vaccine progress that is being hyped up big time. But this is interesting statement by President-elect, as they say, Joe Biden. Come down to here, and this is the real story, though, Dr. Paul. The third paragraph, this is why the head of the CDC warned this fall that for the foreseeable future, a mask remains the most potent weapon against the virus than the vaccine, a more potent weapon against the virus than the vaccine. So they're even downplaying the vaccine right now. Today's news does not change this urgent reality. Americans will have to rely on masking, distancing, contact tracing, hand washing, because we never did that before the virus. We're running around in our own filth. But that tells you the story. They really don't care that much about this vaccine at the point because the whole point is the mask mandate. Let's do this next clip really quick, Dr. Paul. I know you're going to be interested in this. Biden's first move as president-elect, mask mandate for all. And this is an article from FoxNews.com. Here's how he's going to do it. And it goes down. The way he's going to do it is he's going to work with governors. And it'll be interesting to see if Abbott rediscovers his spine when it comes to this. He's going to work with governors to get them to do it. And if that doesn't work, he'll go over their heads or under their heads and start dealing with mayors individually. So you may have a crazy patchwork in the U.S. It's almost like something out of Mad Max or something, where this city will have one, a hard one. And by the way, I was in Harris County yesterday, and it is like a lunatic asylum with people wearing masks in outdoor malls. But you're going to have this weird patchwork. You can do, you know, sort of sneak over here where you can get by without a mask, and it's going to be a real mess.
See, I'm optimistic that the solution is going to be found on the people who enjoy the beach. And individuals who do like it, they want to go, they do go, they get a chance to go, they're back on the beaches in Florida, even in Texas, a few people are going out, and they don't want to go to the beach with a mask on. So it's people willing to stand up on these principles, but unfortunately the intimidation is just horrible. And you know, the one example that I've mentioned to you is that we have one of our grandsons who's a first-year medical student doing very, very well. And can you imagine? I've never talked to him about this, and I don't know. He just wants to study and be a doctor.
Yeah.
But can you imagine what's like? What if he gets to the point where, you know, he has a political instinct and he also ends up with a medical instinct that this is not good to take this virus or take the vaccine. You know, what is he going to do? Does he lose his whole career in medicine, you know, because of this? So, and that's the reason this vaccine is so dangerous. It is your passport, one way or the other, you know, whether they can automatically trace everything you do or whether you have to just have a piece of paper. But it is a bad move. And I want to just mention, I mentioned it earlier, but there's a couple headlines on the people, you know, concerned about the vaccine. It's not like this is brand new and only you and I have been doing this and being concerned. A lot of people have been concerned, even for many, many years, because they've known of the complications. Of course, they've been all written off as kooks. But here's one, NIH, very concerned about the serious side effects of the vaccine. And here, date is September of this year, 2020. It's not like 10 years ago or something. Here, Supreme Court rules in favor of protecting vaccine makers, they get protection. You know, you can't sue them, and that was pretty strongly supported by the Supreme Court. So, and also here's why here, and this is from the Healthline, September again, why rushing a COVID-19 vaccine by November could be dangerous. But this is all pushed aside because this morning there was absolutely no danger. It's going to protect 90% of the people. They have no way of knowing that. And I bet when the dust settles, they're going to find out a lot more complications than they ever dreamed of, and they're going to find out it probably hasn't done any good. It probably won't. How are they going to measure it? The disease is disappearing so fast. Well, how are they going to give the vaccine? You know, all these curves that you show every day, it's disappearing. And and now we're going to give the vaccine, and the line will still stay there. See, we've taken care of it. No new outbreak from this. So it's a fraud, is what they're doing. Just like fraudulent elections, this is a fraud. What they're doing, and it's tyranny. People who like to rule, but it's also money, and
money. See, now y'all see why I like to listen to Ron Paul. I know you thought he was a Republican. Yeah, no, you thought he didn't have a side. Nope. Said this show had no side. This show is for liberty, and we're all slaves. This is why I like this show. So a couple good things he talked about. Damn it, I was taking notes. Who took my notes? I'm discombobulated this morning with that damn mushroom. Okay, you know what? I'm a free flower. That's just good to be a free flow. Fraud. Yes, Vernon. Fraud. You know how I know it's a fraud? Swine flu. That's how I know. Swine flu. They got me on swine flu. Blind spot. Swine flu. That's how I know. Does anybody remember the history of swine flu? What was it? Well, I remember our swine flu. The history of swine flu when was it Ford? It was Ford, right? Who decided we're gonna mass cure everybody. How did that go? Y'all remember that? How did that go? How did that get down? Well, somebody said, oh, you can't sue them? No, you cannot. That's the fun part. It's the only product in the United States of America that you actually cannot sue if it kills or maims you. You can sue the government. You cannot sue the vaccine companies. Why? Because of the whole swine flu vaccination. Why? Because that ended up and they started lining people up. We're going to save you. We're going to fix you. We're going to cure grandmama. Hollywood started coming out. They started telling everybody, run these commercials out. Everybody in Hollywood got shot. They're safe. They're fixed. They're, blah, 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 blah. I think they get about 50 million people. They got 50 million people before they decided, wait a minute, people ain't walking how they supposed to. What the hell is going on? It's not funny. It's ridiculous. That's why I'm laughing that we still have this system. They were giving people that ailment. What's the name of that ailment again? There's so much crime and corruption and destruction. They were paralyzing people with the vaccine. It caused a brain problem, which is interesting because there are some brain problems that are being caused today, which was the CDC tried to tell us, but we didn't want to listen. So yeah, you can't sue them. And the last time they tried to force vaccinate 240 million different people with 240 million different immune systems, they end up paralyzing a bunch of people. We posted on that this morning, so we could even talk about that, but we can't talk about that because you got to make your own decision. Once again, I'm not pro, I'm not against. I just look and I say, well, if you make something, it's got to work. And if you demanded with Fauci and Reagan that you can't be sued, then it means that you know that it doesn't work. You know that there are risks that you don't want to take selling your product. Anybody who believes in forcing a product that the maker does not even believe in is insane. Love you to death, but you're insane. I had that discussion with my brother this morning. Oh my goodness gracious. Sometimes you just gotta let people get bit. Sometimes you gotta, because you know what a dog doesn't know. It's a choke chain until it gets choked. Sometimes you gotta let the dog choke before they actually realize what they're doing here. Yes, thank you there. Guillain-Barré syndrome, Amy. Thank you, Amy. People, go do your homework. These people will kill you. They will hurt your children. They are in it for the money. Money. Does that rhyme with grandma? No, it doesn't. No. Money. So that's why I love Ron Paul. He says the truth. Don't always agree with him, but he knows what he's talking about when it comes to that. It's always, it's Sometimes you have to stick to the principle. I can't force you, and I'm not going to get behind anybody that forces you. I'll be honest with you. I was making a smoothie, so did he get to the part? I saw this. I already saw it. I didn't have to watch it. I was sad about the mushrooms, so I think I need a smoothie. Up my performance. That was a horrible thing. If you didn't watch the beginning and you're a woman, do not watch the beginning. If you're a man, you need to watch the beginning. We need to ban we need to ban that damn Mushroom Act of 2020, something like that. Did he talk about the executive orders yet? Somebody let me know. This is a raw show, y'all. This is a raw show. It's how I do. It's not a show. It's a raw discussion. Did he talk about the executive orders yet? I heard 2 or 3 of them where I was half listening this morning, and I think that it's indicating what is about to happen. I don't think he did yet. Money rhymes with honey. Yes, it does, Lord. Money, money, money. If you ain't get it, you don't get no honey. I don't know if we can do that. Get over it. It's all good. It is all good, Christine. The universe is exactly how it's supposed to be. It is exactly how we're supposed to be. And I saw your comment earlier, and you're right. You know I'm just joking half the time, Christine. You know, it's about intimacy. I know. All right, real talk. I'm not worried about that damn mushroom. I just think it's funny. Nah, so, all right, let's reverse the role for a minute. See how y'all want to go back to the mushroom. We'll get back to fake world events later. If they made a mushroom, in which nature makes a mushroom, that if when the man smelled it, yes, that's the face I make. I'm sorry, that's funny to me. I would never sniff that damn thing. I wouldn't even go in the woods or forest where it's at. First of all, you can't get no work done. Every man knows by the age of 13 or 14 or 15, well, you don't know at 13 and you don't know at 14, but damn sure sometime around 15, you realize that this is not gonna work. I got homework. I gotta rake the leaves, I gotta cut the grass, mom is yelling and screaming, and this ain't gonna work. You can't do this all the time. No. No, I wouldn't. It is about intimacy. Christine is right. Real talk. We have jokes and have fun, but really it's about the person. It's not about the thing. It's not about the destination. It's about the person and feelings, emotions, and all of that, oceans and liquids and all of that stuff. That's what it's about. Sharing your viruses and your bacterias and all of that stuff. Deliciousness. That's what it's about. The scents, the good ones and not so good ones. But it doesn't really matter because you love the person, so all the scents are good ones. That's what it's about. It's not about getting to the destination. Here goes somebody. I'm gonna wait for somebody to post. No, it's about the destination. Why? Somebody gonna post it. I know it. That somebody was recently divorced. I know, because you go through that, recently broke up or something, you got all that baggage and damage, like, I don't like men, I don't like women, and that's how you do. You got to get rid of that baggage. When you get rid of that baggage, you're like, you know what, no, human beings are social creatures. The mushrooms ain't gonna replace people. It'll just replace you after the divorce. After the divorce, she's gonna be real happy. When you see her, she's happy. Anybody go through that? You go through a breakup, a divorce, everybody's sad at first and you still sad, and then she happy. You know something? You better call Tyrone. She gonna call Mushroom. They're gonna make teas and stuff. She can sniff the tea and drink the tea at the same time after the divorce. She's happy. Yes, she's very happy at that point in time. All right, I'm gonna keep it going. I'll do comments over here. Yes, I remember swine flu, H1N1, etc. Morning, G, I like Ron Paul too. Good morning, my lovely friend. Yes, Amy, like Ron Paul, love Ron Paul. I love everybody. Everybody got something to teach you if you're grown up. You realize everybody knows something that you don't. You don't have to get into the identity. He's a Republican. He's got lighter skin than mine. He's a man. Everybody has something to teach you if you're willing to learn. Yes, Vernon's disaster capitalism. Ooh, yeah, I didn't mention that, did I? Who was the guy who made that quote? I posted that quote this morning. Did y'all catch that? Anyone catch that? Anyone who thinks Biden's coming to save us, or Trump was out to ruin us, or Trump was out to save us, or Biden's gonna ruin us? Anybody catch that quote? Hold on, let me go back. Slam the brakes. Stop the mushroom talk. Slam the brakes. Nothing wrong with that. That's just ridiculous. I'm sorry. I don't know if it's true. That could be total fake news. It could be total fake. It may not even be a real mushroom. And this is somebody gonna post, oh no, it's a real mushroom. Oh God, I'm so glad I'm not your boyfriend. Anyway, where is it? Right here. There's a good quote about that. Disaster capitalism. Because he's starting to pick his new team. And on the new team, you got to pick the best people of the best people's best people. Best people. No, I ain't getting rid of the badge. We're going to keep the badge, brothers. We're going to hold that. Stay strong, brothers. Stay strong. We're going to schedule one that behind it. I'm telling you, man going to run next election. We're going to schedule one that joker. That's what the men go. I'm going to tell you, this is how it works. It's going to feed into the executive orders in a minute when we talk about that. That was Stubbs Terkel. Y'all know who Stubbs Terkel is? Stubbs Terkel. See, y'all don't ever do no research. Y'all don't know who people are. Y'all try to keep up. Stubbs Terkel. You got to become involved in the world. Understand these things. You know who Stubbs Terkel is? I have no damn idea. I've never heard of the man. I didn't know there was a man. Stubbs could be a woman. I have no idea who the hell this is. But it was a good quote from who listen to. Oh, right. He said that this morning. Oh, somebody said it. Hope never trickles down. It always springs up. That's right. Hope never trickles down. It always springs up. You ain't never gonna get no damn hope from no mushroom. It's supposed to spring up. Somebody knew I was. You see, she laughing at the thing. I already knew I was going. I don't know why the world is so funny, y'all. We about to die. We shouldn't be laughing. We should be dead right now. Stubbs Terkel said that. It's deep. It applies to today, right? All the adults who are looking for the heroes. Hero, my hero, things gonna change. Still got people looking at me like, yeah, we did you a favor, black man. You didn't do me any favors. Nope, you have no idea who Joe Biden is, or Donald Trump is, or Barack Obama, or Clinton, or Bush. You don't know none of these people. You ain't doing me no favors. Please stop. Sit down somewhere before you hurt yourself. Stubbs Terkel was from decades ago. That's why, Lori, he's old and he's dead. He probably knows President Grant right now. He probably knows President Grant. And that's the deep saying. Is so it springs up outside of the mushrooms and all the springing. Hope springs up. It comes from the people. It does not come from the rulers down. There's no rulers coming to save you. Nobody runs for an oligarchy to save you. It applies to today because I was talking to one of my little silly family members. The silly family members, not the biological family members. My family's getting bigger and bigger. I mean, my family's 7 billion people, but right now only about 5,200 something even know that we family. But I'm gonna find the rest of them jokers. What were we talking about this morning? I woke up. They woke me up with some terrorism this morning, and I forgot what it was about. Hold on. I like to tell stories. I drink my grandmama. See, when you cannot see the smoothie, that's how you know it's green. Look at that. It's called a green screen. It's magic. That means that this is saving grandmama. If you could see my face is not green enough, this is gonna save grandmama. This is how you're saving grandmama, people. If you were buying designer masks, you're getting ready to lock down, you get some locks for your house and some toilet paper, you're not saving grandmama. You're listening to the statist. Stop being a statist. This is how you save grandmama. And grandma never asked you to save her, so it's how you save yourself. You save grandmama by saving yourself. If you got to work in the immune system, grandmama good with you. Working the immune system, you're going to be coughing, sneezing, farting, snot bubbles a little too long for 2 weeks, 3 weeks with a cold or flu, and that's how she's going to get sick from you. If you drink your smoothies, you'll beat that joker down in a day, or you may not even get symptoms that you get sick. Told people that before. My body done beat the common cold. I have no interest in any ignorant people trying to cure the common cold. Certainly not from a criminal, crony, Rockefeller medicine pharmaceutical industry who we need to be holding accountable right now. I had a great long discussion about that yesterday. I'm always talking to somebody about something. We didn't need to have an election. We needed a murder investigation. Because if the CDC told us that 6% of the people died directly from cuckoo virus, and the other 94%, which is why I called it cuckoo from the very beginning, go back, watch the earlier videos. I said this is cuckoo, and a lot of cuckoo-ness gonna come out of it. We're either gonna take the cuckoo out the clock or keep the cuckoo in the clock. Until now, we've decided to keep the cuckoo in the clock. 96, did I do my math right? 96% of the people were being kept alive to treat their side effects because it's profitable to keep diseased people around who have an immune system that is so challenged they'll die when the flu gets here. All right? The pharmaceutical industry did that. They've lobbied both political parties. None of your criminals are coming to save us, right? Mushroom, my mind just did something crazy. Just did, like mushrooms and dinglings spring up or something. Let me drink this. Hold on. I tell the truth, but damn it, I'm a man. I'm not gonna get out of that. I have a place in the kingdom. So if we had any damn sense, if it was springing up hope for grandmama, hope for people with immune issues, hope for people with autoimmunity, hope for grandma, grandpa, hope for people who had lung disease, COPD, we wouldn't be out here marching and screaming, we need to hide in our houses. We need to put on face diapers. We'd be drinking green smoothies and we'd be springing up from the base like a wet, cold turtle. Hiding in the shell because you just went into the pool and it was a little too cold. You know it was cold and you came out too quick and the turtle went in the shell. It's supposed to spring up from the base. Things don't spring up when they're cold. We wouldn't be cold to grandmama. We'd be warm. That sounded wrong, but it is what it is. We would be holding the pharmaceutical industry accountable for keeping people, because their role in our society is to help us, right? Their role in our society is to heal. Their role is to help grandma. And if they are literally keeping people sick to make profit and those people die, there's something fraudulent going on there. That's a murder investigation. If it's not murder in the first degree, it's murder in the third or fourth degree. But they're lying to people and then making big money. That big money needs to go to the families of everybody who died. So that's what 170,000 people who died because they had an illness that comes from being poisoned by pesticides, beauty care products, makeup, cosmetics, and they got a pharmaceutical industry that's not trying to help. They're just trying to make money on you staying sick. Nah, there's a breach of, how does that saying go? They picked that Hippocratic oath. The hypocrite oath. I'm gonna be a hypocrite. Yeah, you should need to be sued to be a hypocrite. The industry, not the doctor. Doctors are victims of this industry. Doctors have no say. Nurses have no say. They say a few things, they get in big trouble. Lori happens to be one of them. If we had any sense, we'd be reforming the pharmaceutical industry right now. Somebody else had a great saying I heard this morning. Something to the effect, right? You're not going to help anybody with a for-profit pharmaceutical industry. You can't have a for-profit healthcare system. If it's a healthcare system, it has to be about health. It can't be about profit. As long as it's about profit, a lot of people are going to die. So while you got the maskers fighting the anti-maskers, the lockdowners fighting the anti-lockdowners, nobody's talking about the real problem. And that is that people's immune systems aren't working because they're not drinking smoothies and the government subsidizing poison every damn body. Yes, and they need to eat more mushrooms. Because Lori said that. Yes, they need to eat more, not that damn mushroom, but other mushrooms. That mushroom needs to go back to hell from whence it came. Let's go back. Let him finish it up. Because I want to get to the orders. We got orders, people. We got orders. And it's just my perspective. I heard 2 orders and I was like, you know what? That's the same damn orders that somebody else did. And it's the same damn, at a principle, like it's the same orders. People get excited about it. Yes, he's taking control. He's going to save grandmama. Like, yeah, oppressors don't save grandmama. Oh, that's what we're going to talk about. Ooh. So I was talking about my family. I woke up, I was sleeping, I had a nightmare. Only me. I had a nightmare last night. And I do gotta say, I'll let you know when I'm wrong. I was wrong. I had a nightmare. It's funny like what your body will like tell you. It's like the black dude who said that he had to get out the way so they could shoot Martin Luther King and he got caught saying that. It's funny what your mind does in the older 29 ages when you think. So I had a nightmare about when I was asking people. I think I made a post a few years ago about how maybe the UN can come in and help America with its crises. Oh, that was a nightmare. I didn't know. I had no idea who they were. I was just like, you know what, in America, we in trouble. We got crises. We need some help. We need help from an outside organization. Come to find out, they've been here the whole damn time. So I had that nightmare. And so I had that horrible nightmare and I woke up to a horrible text. Somebody in my family sent me something about fighting systemic racism. I was just like, yeah, that's a thing, not a thing. That's a thing, not a thing. That's a thing, not a thing. And so we had a good little text discussion back and forth. And I was just like, what's the point of fighting systemic racism in a systemic oppressive system? Somebody answer that question. How far will you get fighting systemic racism in a system that requires systemic oppression? Somebody tell me. Somebody go. Y'all talking about the mushroom. That's what's wrong with women. Y'all see this, men? We're trying to have an important, intelligent discussion. We're talking about important things and fixing problems and healing the world. And so, and all the women's, they talking about the mushroom. Somebody talking about how to make it in teas. Dry it, put it in powder. That's just wrong. So if you have, I know I'd be happy to. I mean, I wouldn't use it long term, but man, I sure would grow that mushroom. I'd give it a shot. I'd probably give it a shot. Just to see what happened. I tried almost anything once. I sniffed the hell out of that mushroom. Oh! All right, I'm sorry. But it's good for men having some challenges. I was never a man who had those real challenges. I had an older person who came along in my life and just tell me that's not it. At an early age. I'm telling some secrets, actually. That person's actually probably on my Facebook profile. You know, because sometimes you got to find somebody a little older and smack your no, dummy, no, but I know. So earlier on, I learned some things that I'm very grateful that I was taught some things and how to do some things, they just things. But there's some people who didn't have a teacher. You explain the parts and pieces and how things and this, that, things, and how everybody's different with the things and different things, and you got to figure it out. I'm telling some secrets here. I am telling some secrets. You got to figure it out. Nobody's created equal. Just then, same thing with the whole vaccine thing, the pharmaceutical, and every headache medicine is the same, treats everybody. No, everybody got different bodies. You have to study people. You have to study, my good men. But the same thing for the women too. Not just as much. Not as much. Y'all could fall asleep in class and still figure the man out. Women, men, you can spend a little time. You a young guy, just observe. That's the best thing to do. Observe. Ooh, Cat Williams gave you the hint. Try this, didn't work. Try this, well, that was Cat Williams, right? Was that Cat Williams? No, that was trying stuff, didn't work. Trying stuff, didn't work. Trying stuff. That might have been the other little guy, Mike. The other little guy. Cat Williams. Who the little comedians? The mid-medians, the little ones. Cat Williams. And Kevin Hart. It was one of the two. You know, because you got to try. You got to try and observe. Try and get good at trying and observing. If that did not work, don't do that again. Like make notes. What you do is get your little notepad, and you put it under the pillow, and you try this. Nope, didn't work. Try that. Nope, didn't. Oh, tried that. I heard something. And then you learn. You figure it out. All right, too much information. TMI. I had an older teacher. For those men, yeah, you could like make a little, nah, don't do that, never mind. Nah, I was thinking about that, because y'all in them Mickeys, y'all done took that too far too. Y'all in them Mickeys and oh, Lord have mercy, now the Cosbys, and oh yeah, we got to schedule one this joker. I think I'm back with the DEA again, I think. No, because, you know, sometimes you gotta get a little pain. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? What you sometimes you have to go through adversity to learn. You know, don't cheat and make a powder or something. Although it's probably the women who make the powder, not the men. Like, yeah, it's okay. You go on, keep going. Oh yeah, She lead over. All right, I'm done. I'm not gonna say nothing more. Back to Ron Paul. How can you not enjoy this end of the world? How can y'all not? They literally got aliens flying at the Pentagon, and now you got mushrooms getting people to explode. This is a wonderful thing.
And people who
good
are able
times
to capitalize on this.
Let's
get to the executive orders.
Tanks rolling down the streets, grabbing people out and putting shots in their arm. I think the way you put it out is much more likely the way they will force vaccine, which is okay. You don't have to have it, but you can't go to school. You can't have your career. You can't do these things. You know, when the communists took over, the first thing they did was get rid of class enemies. So if your grandfather was a kulak, right? If he had a little business that he ran, you were not allowed to go to university. you were not allowed to study certain things. A very good friend of mine who lived under communism in Hungary had that same thing happen because his father had been a landowner. He was not allowed to study what he wanted. He had to study physical education. So this is the way they're going to do it. And if that doesn't work, it may come down to soldiers jamming things in your arms. But there's a long step between here and there, but it is a long road toward tyranny.
All right, so let's deal with that real quick. So there is that whole Geneva Convention thing. We talked about that earlier, that they literally cannot force vaccinate you. They cannot force medicate you. And question, how many treaties has the United States Incorporated not broken? All right, this is where Beaufont chimes in. You have no idea what a government is. Okay, when you give up your energy to a thing, when you give up your sovereignty to a thing, you can have all the pieces of paper, the Bill of Rights and constitutions and all that stuff that you want. And when the politicians get paid for it, they're gonna take that piece of paper, they get lobbied to do it, they're gonna roll that sucker up. And because you took all the toilet paper out there, because people at the the grocery store now getting that toilet paper. They're gonna take that and they're gonna wipe their butt with the Constitution, throw that thing in the trash. All right. Again, they're gonna try to. You won't renew your license. You can't get a car registration. You can't come to work. You can't go to the grocery store. They'll take your kids. They'll put you in quarantine. They all have the quarantine statutes. Right. This is where we are. Right. And if none of that works, they're gonna make their money, because this is not about helping you, right? This is not about saving grandma. This is about dominating the world under control. They're gonna get you. They're gonna get you. And so then this is why I'm at it with my family, because I love these people and I don't want them to get caught out there. But you know, I'm not gonna get caught out there. I'm leaving. Where you gonna go? You can't get away from the New World Order, but you don't want to be in batch one. All right, you learned that from Swine Flu. What is the name of his book? There's a guy, I added a book to the book list this morning. I'm not gonna play the Swine Flu video because that's just gonna get it taken down. You have to learn, you have to go do your research. People who care will go do the research. People who don't care, they're gonna sit right here till the hammer drops. Oh, here we go. Pure Politics and Impure Science. Who wrote that book? Delicious book. Had to add it to the book list this morning. Let me see, where is that thing at? Is that it? There you go. Let's move Nasty Shroom. The Shroom. We need a name for that. Somebody picking a good name for that yet? The Woo Woo Shroom. The Shroom. I don't need no damn man shroom. All right, anyway. I'm sorry, it's funny. It's just funny to me. I'm kind of in it for the women. I'm kind of, yeah, y'all done got it. You got it on that one. You checked all the boxes. You really don't need it. I'm sorry, I know it's wrong. It's wrong. But I listen to everybody suffering oppression and stuff. Anyway. Pure Politics and Impure Science by Dr. Arthur M. Silverstein. He was the one on the news who told you that he was the one who was blowing the whistle, and he was saying that this is pure politics, that this is impure science, that this is about money and lobbyism. And so the first people who went, they got that Guillain-Barré stuff and it got paralyzed, and then they stopped it because President Ford said, "Oh, stop! So we're gonna get away with it. We're not gonna get away with it." And so he stopped it, right? You don't want to be in batch one. So if you were in a state like New York, this batch one, you have some thinking to do. You have some thinking. That's the boom shroom. All right. So yes, I would have put him on blast this morning. That was a great one. I won't post the video. They're on YouTube. There's a good video on YouTube. What is it called? It's a news clip too. You probably could post it on YouTube. I'm tired of going to YouTube jail, so I'm not doing that no more. If you do a search on YouTube for the swine flu fraud of 1976, 60 minutes. It was a 60 Minutes report with Mike Wallace. He'll walk you through the history. You do not want to be in batch one. That's what I tried to tell my brother. And he was like, "That's okay, because I'm a Christian, and I can dance with snakes, and they won't harm me." And I was like, bruh, that's not the point. It's not about if you can dance with the snake. It's about why in the hell would you pick up a black mamba and dance around the house? Like, I've seen it. I've seen them because they get the Christian. Like, yeah, you could, and I believe I could do that. Don't get me wrong. I'm a god. I ain't no damn snake that can hurt me. Shoot. But if I'm walking in the bush and I see the snake, I'm not gonna step on the damn thing with no sandals and flip flops. Come on, man. And so, you know, so I tried to give him a little piece of it from a film perspective. I said, okay. I said, are you a cannibal? He said, no. I said, okay, you're not a cannibal. Do you know what ingesting means? Okay, I know what ingesting means. Okay, and you know that just does not come from your mouth, right? You can ingest things in other ways, and we had to walk through it. It's really weird because he's a smart dude. He's a scientist. He's a chemist. And I said, okay, so you can ingest things by your mouth, right? They can give you aspirin in your mouth. I think they got aspirin for the ear now. Don't they have the aspirin you can put on your skin? And they got the aspirin, they can shoot up your booty hole. You can ingest medication in a lot of ways, okay? Can you be accountable in a lot of ways? If somebody's making products and they're using human tissue and they're using monkey tissue, and you don't want to be accountable, you're gonna have to go with the company that has the monkey tissue. But you got the issue with the monkey tissue, because with the monkey tissue, you're getting all kind of monkey viruses. And some people say that's where that disease came from, so you need to be careful with that. Whether or not it's a good idea to actually have animal tissue in the human veins. That's what you should think about. So we had that discussion. I just said, yeah, well, if you don't want to be accountable, if you don't want to ingest infant tissue, then you may not want to take this one. You might want to sit this one out, because the only choices are the three types of, sciences that they use to make these things, where they cultivate them in animal or infant tissue, and the other way is a DNA one. And me, I don't go with none of the options. It's like Biden or Trump. No. What was the other one? Clinton or Trump? No. What's the one go back before that? Obama and was it Obama and Bush? No. Obama and McCain. It's like, no. No, I'm a horrible slave, y'all. I don't do slavery. I don't do authority. I don't like using an authoritarian system to force other people to do things. I don't believe in using mushrooms to force things that you need to learn how to do your damn self. I don't believe in cheating. You can't cheat nature. You can't cut no corners. You got to do it. It'll work up your midsection. That's why so many men walk around with them spare tires now. You need to learn how to work it. Have to work it. I'm gonna go buy a mushroom. All right. I keep getting off. I gotta stop looking at the comments. Lord have mercy. What are we talking about? Right. Something. Oh yeah, the swine flu. Yeah. So look at the swine flu. People say, well, you can't run away from the New World Order. Yes, you can't run. But you can hide when they got version 1.0. You can hide when they want to start the Tuskegee experiments. So this was the other one. This is the other one, then we'll go back to Ron. Because we didn't even get to the executive orders yet. So Zeke Emanuel, which I have no damn idea who he is. I don't know who he is, or the Urkel man with the quote from earlier. I don't know these people. I'm a gardener. Hell I know. Do your own research. Don't trust none of us. Young people, if young people are here, do not trust old people. Do not trust my generation. We are ignorant, stupid, emotional, and lost our damn minds. Do your own research. Do not trust me. If I say something that's even close to what you think is something that's interesting that you might want to pay attention to, go do your own research. Do not trust me. I'm going to get you killed. So Zeke Emanuel, he's going to be on the cuckoo virus task force already. I already picked him. And yes, it was a rhetorical question. He is the brother of Rahm Emanuel, the man known for saying, never let a good crisis go to waste. All right, so you know what the task force is going to be about. Not letting a good crisis go to waste. All right, where's Ron at? Where's Ron? I'm running out of time. I gotta finish this smoothie.
I was gonna swip over if you want to talk about the Biden. you have something that you want to talk about?
I just want to mention one more thing, and this is a sign of optimism, but it's a disappointment because we don't have rallies quite this big, unless they're at the Trump rally. This is a rally in Leipzig, and millions, like hundreds of thousands anyway, who are complaining against the lockdown.
Yeah.
And then there was another one in Germany, I believe. No, this is UK, to denounce the national lockdown. But they keep doing it. The government keeps doing it. The people are speaking out, but ultimately, you need philosophic leaders. You need people understanding what's going on. But ultimately, the people have to stand up, because the saying is that bad governments can't exist without the support of the people. Yeah, they get lulled into it and they go along with it and they survive. But ultimately, they have to have the support coming from the people. And I think when you see crowds...
Amen. And that's how we said it before, is that every tyrant that you got to fight is a tyrant somebody else could have walked away from.
Like this coming out, we just need more. And that's why we talk so much about the crowds in the Florida beaches.
Yeah.
We need more of that. People standing up, because that means that they want their liberties and they're not intimidating. They're not saying there's no danger in being exposed to other people, bad colds, and even what about the flu virus? Has been around a long time. That's probably caused a lot more problems, every year. But they've taken care of that problem. Nobody dies from influenza anymore.
Well, the CDC announced that because of the ongoing COVID crisis, they're not even going to track influenza this season. They're not even going to bother.
Just add them on.
Yeah, just add them on. They're not going to bother. Well, the people who do feel ripped off that their vote has been stolen, if these people do start to wake up and get out in the streets and demonstrate as the Europeans are doing, it doesn't take, as you always said, it doesn't take 50% plus one. It doesn't take 20% even. But a lot of people in the streets will convince the people who are trying to take away their liberties to think twice, because there will be repercussions for that.
All right, so for anybody who's going to do that, if you're going to do that, please do that universally. Please do that, not, anti-Biden march. That's a waste of time. Because when you remember, you get out in that street, stop Biden! You pull this way, they're gonna pull this way. You pull this way, they're gonna pull that way. And this is what they just did with Trump. Like, their whole platform was we don't like Trump. So nothing got done. We made no progress as a human race because they don't like Trump. Okay, so they made their voice heard, stole the election in broad daylight. Literally, they didn't cover their faces. They just rode into town without masks on. We're gonna steal this election. They went to the bank and grabbed that joker and just pulled it out of town. And they stealing the election. They ain't supposed to do that. That's a crime. And they just did it, got away. That's the deep state for it. Deep state got that power. But I was thinking about this earlier. I think there are only two types of American presidents, right? You have, politicians. Let's put it straight, politicians. Tell me how you think what you think it is. There are only two types that are allowed to work for the mafia. And that's the ones that are already sold out. And it's the ones that are still holding out for a better deal. That's all you got. Because if you say no to these people will kill you. You're dealing with global power. You're not dealing with Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter, Prayer Boys, and Ku Klux Klan, and Black Panthers. You're not dealing with people at this level. You're dealing with people on a global level. You don't say no to these people. All you can say is that's not enough. You got to thicken up the pot. And me personally, I think Trump the pot wasn't thick enough in all the areas, and he was trying to get a little more. That's all. A little delay in the negotiation tactic. Biden sold the whole farm out, the whole damn farm. And so that's just my perspective. I could be totally wrong. So far, when it comes to President Grant is the president, and we don't need a president, and the things that they're saying has pretty been spot on. That's harsh. Med, Lord have mercy. Harsh med and these people in this tool where they put people's faces on videos, and you know what? You ever just meet somebody, you just want to say something that's just so racist. You just want to say something. Oh, I want to say something to you, but I'm not going to. He's got the best face for these videos. Are y'all watching these videos? What is this tool where you can put people's faces on videos? He got the best face for it. I don't care what anybody says. You can put women, you know what? We might take a break and go look at Harsh face. Oh, no, you can't. That's right, because they're copyrighted. where you take people's faces and you put on these videos. Y'all do more of this. This is good. I like this. This is good. Harsh has the perfect, they put him on white people, black people, yellow people, orange people. They put him all over the place. His face just fits right in. It's the funniest. It's the funniest thing. I've never seen something so funny in my life. I think, Harsh, man, you should be our mascot. That sounds racist as hell, and I really don't care. I want to see your face on bobbleheaded things. I put one in my car. You know that little bobbleheaded thing? His head go on everything. I want to put him on like Cabbage Patch Harsh dolls. He should be like action figures, bowling balls, pretty much every damn thing you need to have a Harsh face on. His face fits on everything. All right, let's get back. We got to be serious.
Well, I wanted to just, my good friend Colonel McGregor sent a great article from Forbes over. These are the 5 executive orders that are expected to be.
Oh, this is the part. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. I got to get serious. Oh, let's get serious. Pay attention on this. This is good. This is important. Because I was thinking some things, and I might be wrong, but I want to just process it and see what y'all think. But and I'm also glad that Harsh is doing it because he's the only he's not many brown people around here. I'm so happy they putting his face on every damn thing. I'm tired of doing everything. They know we need some more brown between him and Will. Like, yes, I did. Let's do more of this. Got to spread it around. Got to spread the love. Spread the racism. You don't just keep it on one person. You got to spread it. Spread it. There you go. But because I started seeing brown people and I was like, that's not me. It's not my nose. That's not my head. My head, I look like Harsh. Because they always used to put me on the brown people. And now it's like, yes! More brown people. Oh, y'all need to invite more brown people to the family.
Issued by Biden, boom, pronto, right away, first day perhaps. And I'll go through them and see what you think about them. And we haven't rehearsed this in advance, so we're going to wait for your reaction. First of all, Paris Climate Accord. Rejoin the Paris Climate Accord. $2 trillion will be spent on clean energy and infrastructure. Massive subsidization.
Oh. So this is what I'm going to do. Because I heard that one. When I heard that one, I stopped. I'm like, this is going to be another controlled opposition executive order run. Like, think about it. Is the whole climate accord a good thing? Is it a good idea to keep playing climate change when we know that they have technologies that they're keeping from us? Is it a good idea to keep playing climate change when we know that they have, how many was it, 120 nations signed on to the geoengineering tools where we know that they are playing with the weather, they're playing with the clouds. I stopped there. I don't go beyond that because I don't know. I didn't have to, right? Once you realize that we had the ability to modify cloud cover, and JFK and LBJ said that in the 1960s, and that was how long ago? What time is it? 40 plus 20. What's 40 plus 20? Right, quick. 60 years ago? So they had satellites 60 years ago that could modify cloud cover. And he said globally. LBJ said globally. But let's just assume it was just for one county. By now, of course they could. They could do it for the whole globe by now. So if you have 120 nations that are modifying weather in their own country, because that was the mandate for the pact that they signed. We will not use weather modification against other nations, only our own. How does that make any sense? Either you hate your people or you just want to make it rain in your country more. Why? Because you can make a lot of money from growing crops in your country. So we know out of that 120 nations, if only a dozen were modifying their cloud cover and making it rain more, you know that's going to create a climate instability. So first one, and here's what I'm thinking. Every single one of these executive orders is going to be a controlled opposition, emotional, yay or boo thing, like something that just completely doesn't matter to anything logical to people who actually research these topics. That's what I think. So one, doesn't matter. It's an emotional topic. It's going to piss off the other side, going to make this side cheer, but ain't going to help a damn thing to the people playing with the tools. Let's see what number 2 is.
So-called clean energy. 0 emissions by 2020. He said in the debate, of course, that he wants to get rid of oil. Number 2, rejoin the...
We could have got rid of oil back in 1940.
World Health Organization. Coronavirus will be a top priority.
Yay! Rejoin the World Health Organization! Oh, we're saved! And then the other side like, boo, he took us out, it's a good thing. And I'm just like, he put us in the gap of the minds, right? So another big nothing burger. These are nothing burgers, right? So Trump took us out of the WHO, got everybody to cheer. See, all these things are emotional. It's controlled opposition on all sides, right? So the WHO, with the number one funders, Bill Gates, Bill and Melinda Gates, people have been reducing the population, save people from Africans. Like, if y'all don't think, y'all got to think a little more. Like, he said he wants to do the African Americans first. All right, so just process that for a minute. He founded the Gavi Alliance. And it's weird, and this is why I don't sit on anybody's side anything. I just sit back and listen, because one side was like, he took us out of the World Health Organization, that monster. And the other side was like, he took us out of the World Health Organization. He's a king. He's saving us from the accommodations in the big pharmaceutical industry that you can't sue. And then someone posted, it's probably like Wanda Links or somebody. She's always trolling people with links. The Gavi Alliance was started by Bill Gates. Hello. So a nothing burger. There's nothing in now. We're back in the World Health Organization. That's a nothing burger. It's a for-profit, for-vaccination corporation. And how's that saying go? If the only tool you have is a hammer, and every problem has to look like a nail. All right, that's that. Another nothing burger.
Administration. 3, repeal Trump's travel ban on people from certain Muslim countries. 4, reinstate.
Travel ban useless. Once again, another emotional thing. Why? Because if you keep blowing up their countries, they're going to keep coming in your country. Which is why I don't do the immigration debate, because that's another nothing burger, right? If you blow up people's countries, they're going to come to your country. We already dealt with that, because they can't stay. If you got a war on drugs, they can't stay in Colombia and they can't stay in Honduras, because the drug cartels have too much power and they overpower the government. So the people can't stay there because they rape more people than, I don't know who. I don't even know. The Pentagon. I don't know. Destroying the planets, the nations they've destroyed, and the places they sanctioned, destabilizing government. They rape so many kids in is it Honduras? Somebody fact check me on that. Where they invented that word, femicide. That it is that bad. So people get together in mobs and walk to the United States to get the hell out of that because their little girl can't go to school. And so one side's like, let everybody in. The other side's like, don't let them in. And I'm just like, how about you stop blowing up their countries and funding the war on drugs that prevents them from actually having a government? So to me, that's another nothing burger. It's the emotional thing. They put the emotional food out there, but 98% of the important things never get done.
The Dreamers program, and that's the program that allows children of illegal immigrants to remain in the U.S. and have a path towards
the whole immigrant thing. So this is the Dreamers, right? Then we looked at the Dreamers when back in 2017 or whenever this nonsense was going on, and it didn't really matter, right? What did Trump say? Because they're always both right and they're always both wrong in every damn thing that they do. But they give you emotional things to argue over so they can avoid talking about the real problems. They can avoid fixing the real problems, right? He just said, well, it's not because Obama did the whole Dreamer thing with executive orders. And it was a mistake. It never really worked out well. But immigration is an issue for Congress to take care of. So he was like, you know what? I'm going to cut this off, and Congress, you deal with it. And at that point, Congress actually could have changed the immigration law. What'd they do? Nothing. Why? Because it could be a new debate topic down the road in the future, another emotional thing to fight over so they can avoid doing anything important.
Citizenship. And 5, repeal the military transgender ban. And perhaps
another nothing burger. How is it significant? Say, oh, well, you transgender, you can't come in the military. Well, if you got a brain in your head, you realize that that's not the American military. That literally is a for-profit group being utilized to blow up other countries and steal resources. Another nothing burger. All of these things are nothing, but they're emotional, right? Because they get people on either side. It's like, yeah, we got to fight. And this is why I say that 98% of every damn thing they do is insignificant. 98% of the things that both political parties do, it's the same. They just give you like these little 2% emotional things, and these are the things that an industry hadn't bought up yet. That's my take on it. Was that the last one? And so this is showing me this is another administration that's going to get people fighting over emotional, useless crap, racism, systemic racism, climate change, fossil fuels, all these things have already been solved, right? Immigration, terrorism, cuckoo virus, everything is always get people on the emotional side, mask or no mask. How about the mask? Your damn choice. Or did you eat a smoothie today? Did you eat an apple, banana? Did you eat French fries and pizza for breakfast? Okay, well, if you ate French fries and pizza for breakfast, you got a big pharmaceutical industry that nobody fixed. It's not really healthcare. It's all disease management. Then if you keep that many diseased people, because that's what they have to do to keep profitable, when a flu comes through, when a common cold makes a shift, it's going to murder a whole bunch of people. This is why I don't focus on the presidents. This is because they're completely insignificant. The bureaucracy is still there. The corruption is still there. This is a group conflict-based system that will never change until we change the system. Right? Nobody should be clapping and cheering that Biden won, and nobody should be sad that Trump lost. Right? They are both components that work for political parties that hold up an oppression-based system. Right? It's going to oppress somebody. It's a Ponzi pyramid scheme. All you can do on your side is push somebody down. And that was my message to my family members this morning. All you're doing is if you actually succeed at fighting systemic racism, all it means is that you're going to keep systemic oppression. You're just going to take another group and push it down. So whether it's by gender, by class, by birth location, state, I have no damn idea. If this ain't going to be some systemic racism, it's going to be systemic something. As long as you have systemic oppression, all you can do is fight for control of who gets to hold the whip on a slave plantation. The most dangerous person on a slave plantation is the slave that believes in the plantation. That's the most dangerous one. In our search scenario, it's called the statist.
Appoint someone to a high military position who is a transgender, whatever they call it. So this is the 5 things that he's going to apparently do when he hits the ground. I think probably the climate stuff is the most important.
And that's...
See, and that's where I'm going to stop, because it's all bullshizzle. It's all bullshizzle anyway. Yeah, but the conservatives don't like transgender. Don't even worry about the conservatives. That's just somebody that doesn't read their Bible. That's what that means. I love them to death. My brother's one of them. They just don't read their Bible. What is WWJD? What would Jesus do about transgenders in the military? Not a damn thing. He'd say stop blowing up other people's countries. He said stop thou shalt murdering. Stop coveting thy neighbor's lithium. Stop covering that neighbor's. I see y'all posting about some damn 1111. I see it. I'm pretending I don't. Damn it, I got cactus needles in my hand. I don't know what 1111 is. All right, that's all I got. I'm going to read comments, but y'all going to have to, does somebody have a concise link for 1111? What is that? What is that? What? 1711? Is that a thing, 2Backs? What the hell is that? Ain't nothing good. It ain't nothing good. I know these people. Y'all, I have no idea what 1111 is. I know it ain't nothing good. I know it's just another damn thing making me say, what the hell is wrong? Another reason why we should go extinct. All right, I had cactus. Oh man, cactus needles all in my hand. But I'm drinking smoothies. Whatever's in that cactus is like what's in that shroom. Ooh, ain't gonna get me today. All right. JC would have ignored folks subverting God. Yes, he would. Hey, thank you, Bex. That's it. What would JC do? If you believe in them or you don't believe in them, know the scripture. You know what they supposed to be doing. Not a damn thing. JC ain't never go to Caesar and said, Caesar, we got to do something about these people. I need a law. Show me the scripture where JC went to, and that's not even his name. That's that cultural appropriation thing that the Greeks did. His name was Yeshua. And nobody knows. I don't know his last name. He never went to Caesar and said, Caesar, I need some help. Gods don't go to government and ask for help. That's how ridiculous it is, right? But this is what people do. Man's trying to become God for the longest time, and some men became God. And they convinced people that God has a political party. God has a political position within a cult. Come on, stop it. All right, howdy y'all. Good morning, Citizen Deb. What's that, Beaufont? He was talking how some smoothies are bad for your health. Some smoothies are bad for your health, Beaufont. If some smoothie, yes, I agree with that. So it just all depends on the ingredients. I'm listening to the audio book, The Most Dangerous Substitution. Good read to put on nearby those who voted. Awesome, thank you, Citizen Deb. Appreciate that. No DEA, no war in the streets. Welcome to Portland. We are not cowards. We fought back and we won. Jimmy T. You know I don't agree. You know I don't agree. You know that I will say we got fighting to do, and it's not no damn Portland. The fighting that we got to do is in our own minds. We need to fight to want to end the plantation, in central banking, in the shackles that have been holding us down since the beginning of time. Portland is one little city, okay? They can blow that up anytime they get ready. So we have to look from within and change who we are. I don't think you'll ever defeat a violent system with more violence. All you're gonna do is you're just gonna become them. The oppressors always become the oppressed. Okay, 11/11, Veterans Day, my ex-husband's birthday. Okay, is it Veterans Day? 11/11, Arsonist Day. Oh, what's that mean? Whoa. Yeah, I came from a family of veterans. That's why, yeah, I don't, that's tomorrow. That is tomorrow. Yeah, I don't do Veterans Day. Not in that way. Not on here anyway. I keep getting in trouble because I say truthful things because I come from a military family. And when you speak up for the military, the U.S. government, who's saying they support the troops, don't like that. So Facebook and a lot let you post on that. But why? What's significant? Portland sucks booty cheeks. According to everybody sucks booty. Well, that's not true. Not everybody. No. Every area as a species, we suck butt. Yes, I agree with that. We suck butt. And that's why nature gonna get nature about to throw us the hell off this planet. I agree with that. But it's not just Portland, it's all areas. M&M's smoothie rock. No, they do not. Mike Russo. You put M&M, you poison a smoothie with some M&M's. They got aspartame. You know what that is? That's bacteria doo-doo, okay? Don't put M&M's in a smoothie. Put healthy things that helps you to save grandma. Your government's poisoning you, and they will not be poisoning you one bit less under Trump nor Biden. All right. Sugar is a carcinogen. Dr. Christian North did a quick, what's that? He's trying to be funny. I know, that's one of our comedians. Dr. Christian North did a quick interview, read her concerns over modern CV injections with Polly from Vax. Dr. Northrop has been well known and respected in some of the circles for decades. So JS, I can pass it along messenger. Someone sent it my way and I forwarded it to Okay, thank you, Amy Fisher. Absolutely. It's a whole lot of doctors that are standing up. That's a beautiful thing. The only doctors y'all need to listen to and virologists are the ones who that you can't actually share their posts. You have to actually go get them through Messenger. Mitt Romney, first name was Willard. Okay. His last name was Colonizer. Thank you, Diane. Well, I like all of them. We are colonizers. This is what we do. We shouldn't be clapping and cheering that a new colonizer is taking the reins of the ropes of colonization, global colonization of our cousins. I grow pot and pay for revolutions, 100 million strong. Yes, Jimmy T. And we need to talk in the future. All right, to get down. UK has done the same. Flu and cuckoo figures together. The only important thing, Bex, that I think about with the figures right now is cases up, mushrooms down. Cases up, no. Cases up, deaths down. That's the important thing. It means people have herd immunity. That's a great thing. It means that it's dying away, which is good. Still means you need to eat healthy foods. You need to go back and focus on nutrition, build up your immune system, because the spring is right around the corner and they have already purchased both political parties. Bad things are coming. We're not out of the water. We need people with strong immune systems. So when this thing comes through, they have a harder time drumming up all the fear. Right? They had a hard time this time, but they got that damn television. We might be ready for it next time around. If people have immune systems that actually work, that can fight off these flus, we could sail through this, because they're gonna have to work too hard to invent the lie. I went to Florida and now $15 per hour. I don't hear good things about Florida, Jimmy T. Fun fasted for 2 days, almost died. That fasting is important, Riley J. Some things only come by prayer and fasting. My mom said a congressman on the news said Trump supporters should be tracked. We are going full Nazi. Yes, Susan, and I'm not gonna let that happen. I'm not gonna let that happen. Not on my watch, Susan Jewell. And that even if it's Biden supporters, right? All of these people in my family, I have zero interest in any of you N-words doing that thing to my people. The N-word with the 4 letters that you can't really say on here because it triggers the algorithms. Yeah, I have zero interest, Susan. No matter who it is. I don't think people are going to stand around and let people be dragged out their house. So I'm not too worried about that. But I'm not going to turn my back on any of my neighbors. They're all Freemasons. Yes, they are. Okay, it's the Reface Act. Okay. Don't know nothing about Reface. I just think it's funny. It is hilarious. The full China coming. I think the full China is here, whoever said that. I think that we just haven't digitized like they are. Whoever has the most locked down colony is going to be the place where the industries can thrive the most against the population. There's one other place I gotta go, and I think that the nations are doing as possible for these industries and corporations, this global power. Whichever government can promise that the best will be at the head of the Rothschilds and Rockefellers table. All right, I gotta show you this because this man, I haven't shown nothing from this man in a minute, and here, right at this point, he said something very important.
Or structure, it comes from frightening it. The Liberty Party, which fought slavery, the suffragists who battled for women's rights, the labor movement and the civil rights movements knew that the question, as Karl Popper wrote, was not, how do we get good people to rule? Most of those attracted to power are at best mediocrities and often venal. But how do we limit the damage the powerful do to us? These mass movements were the real engines for social reform, the correctives to our democracy, and the true protectors of the rights of citizens. They never achieved formal political power, but they are a reminder that, as Studs Terkel used to say, hope has never trickled down. It has always sprung up. We must opt out of the mainstream. We must articulate and stand firmly and unequivocally, even if this turns us at first into outcasts on the side of working men and women. We must no longer be content with the crumbs tossed to us by the power elite in the vain hope that accommodation will work. We must become as militant as those who are seeking our enslavement. If we remain passive, we will soon be engulfed by a ruthless totalitarian capitalism. If we remain passive as we undergo the largest transference of wealth upwards in American history, we will become serfs. If we fight back, we have a chance. The saturation coverage of Jackson's death was yet another example of our collective flight into illusion. It deflected the moral questions arising from mounting injustice, growing inequalities, costly imperial wars, economic collapse, and political corruption. As we sink into an economic and political morass, as we barrel towards a crisis that will create more misery than the Great Depression, we remain controlled, manipulated, and distracted by the celluloid shadows on the wall of Plato's cave. The fantasy of celebrity culture is not designed simply to entertain. It is designed to drain us emotionally, confuse us about our identity, blame ourselves for our predicament, condition us to chase illusions of unachievable fame and happiness, and keep us from fighting back. And in the end, that is all the Jackson coverage was really about. Another tawdry and tasteless spectacle. Divert a dying culture from the baying wolf at the gate. Thank you.
The spectacle, which is all they give you. Spectacle. The Coliseum. Let them eat cake. This is where we are. Everything is a spectacle. None of your leaders do anything of any real content. It's just spectacle. It's emotional spectacle to get you to modify your behavior in a way that's profitable. Spectacle. No intimacy, all mushroom. I'm sorry, I'm spectacle. I try to be serious. Spectacle. Chris Hedges saw it coming a long time ago. He saw the collapse of the American empire, and putting together all the dots, the American empire was a small part of a larger empire. And other nations are fighting to have more say, more influence, more wars, more colonization, more control, more vested interests and power within this East India Trading Crown Corporation, Bank of England, corporate rule over this planet, while some people still think they have a political system. Don't ever cast your pearls before swine. When you realize you're dealing with swine, you're dealing with pigs, and all they do is waddle in the mud with each other and doo-doo all over each other, don't go jump in there with them. You're going to get E. coli. Don't do that. Do not cast your energy before swine. Once you realize you're a god, you're a consciousness, you're a beautiful thing, you're an amazing creature that should work with other creatures. Get together and do the creature thing. Spirituality, creature things, you know. Cheat the system, grow no damn mushrooms so you can be by yourself. Yeah, I know that's gonna bother me a little bit for a minute. No, don't cast your spirit, don't cast your energy before swine. You can't have my energy. Talking good things, you got my time, got my energy. Talking foul things, you want to keep the plantation and hold the whip, you don't get my time. You have my love. You ain't gotta ask for my love. You always got my love. As JC, before they changed the name, Yeshua said, you got to love people. You don't have to like people. A lot of people I don't like, but I love everybody. That's why you give people a minute. It's like the choke chains. I was gonna show y'all choke chains earlier. It's like, don't worry too much about this, what's going on, because people get it. They figure it out. Hang on, let me go back. I was showing a picture of the choke chain. You know what a choke chain is? They're gonna figure it out. They just haven't gotten choked yet. When you get choked, then you know that you're on the choke chain. Most people living too good. They're living too high on the hog, as they used to say. Here we go right here, the choke chains. No, I actually want to show you from a different perspective, right? Your friends and family will realize where we're at when they finally get choked. See, they haven't ran to the end of the leash yet. They haven't run for freedom. They haven't gotten to a point yet where the spikes of that choke chain dig into their skin to realize that they're playing, and they're playing politics. But the people with real power, they're not playing politics. Government ain't never there to help you. Right? This is not anti-Biden, pro-Biden, any of that nonsense thing. It is after a leader is cheated and they select somebody to be in that spot, the initiatives have to come from the ground floor up. You can't just sit back and say, all right, I got my hero, here are my underoos drawers, I'm gonna put these on and sit back and let them do great things. They're gonna do bad things. Corporations run this planet. When you don't elect a leader, you cheat at the polls because you got a bunch of dead people. I'm sorry, it's a little funny. When you're done, you got to make sure real things happen. And those real things only happen once you realize they don't have the little bars, the little rubber ends on the choke chains. That's what you have for your dogs, your citizens, when you don't want it to dig in too deep. So you pull them back. It's like, oh, okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Mass incarceration, that's not too bad. You know, war on drugs, that's not too bad. You know, war and sending children to fight in wars, they got nothing to do with that. That's not too bad. We're literally in a time right now where we on this one right here. You see the one above it? We got this one now. They didn't took it off. Now they're letting you know exactly who they really are. There's a famous person who once said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. And she smoked a little too much. Did she smoke? They ain't took it off now. Now they're telling you they're criminalizing healthy people. Right? It's going to be a crime to not have a vaccination. It's going to be a crime to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now everybody's joined. those people who rode middle class privilege for a while. See, middle class, they just feel a little too good right now. Some of them don't realize upper middle class and lower upper class, they just don't realize where we are. So they're still cheering this nonsense. Just give them a minute. You just wait till they get to the end of that rope and they feel you feel them spikes digging. Just love them. You don't have to like them, just love them, but keep them around long enough and enough of an unemotional space where they will come to you to try to figure out what the hell is going on. You did the research, you have an idea of what's going on. They're going to need your help when they feel it bite in to realize that this was not about an election, that this is not about politics, it's not about political parties. This is literally a fight for the human race, control for the planet. Because everybody's wanted to rule the world. And now somebody has a chance. The question is, are we going to let them? All right, the full China is coming. Yes, it is. Hide your dogs. Yes, hide your dogs. Hide the children. Hide the cats. Hide the air plants. Hide yourself. Don't be part one. Don't be the first to be out there. The first ones always get it the worst. Virus, bacteria all around me, yet my immune system says love veggies. Yes, Jennifer, because you're a human being. You're a human being. You trust the science. You trust the natural science that this is how things have worked. This is how they always work. They work best well this way together. And if nature wanted you to have a face diaper, nature would have invented a face diaper and put it on your face to protect you from this horrible thing that's coming to get you. It didn't do that in a billion years, so obviously this is not a horrible thing coming to get you. It is just a natural part of our ecosystem. And if we actually separate people out from the ecosystem, you may not ever get them back in it. You may not ever get them back in it. We have to evolve with the ecosystem, and that includes our immune systems. And the only way we do that is if our immune systems are strong and we are healthy, so we can be exposed to the things on our planet, so we don't have to take a large synthetic medicine industry and make it a requirement for the human being to even exist on the planet, because we modified our bodies so much that they can't even recognize the common cold anymore, and it might kill us. You understand what I'm saying on that? You understand what she's saying on that? You need your flus, you need your viruses, you need your bacterias, you need all of that. And if your body's having trouble with that, then you need to spend some time with a naturopathic doctor to get you on some things that will rebuild your body to make it strong. Unfortunately, where we are, and it's not the medical doctor's fault. It's not their job to make you strong and help you heal. It's their job to sell you drugs. You don't run to a drug dealer when you have a global health crisis because people don't have working immune systems because they're being poisoned by the governments that people can't stop voting for. I'm gonna do this. It's probably gonna get me in trouble, but you know what? Certain point in time, I don't really care. Did y'all see the Corbett did a great video? His bye-bye party. Yeah, at a certain point in time, I'll dance around it. Sometimes you just have to say it. Sometimes you just got to show it and just be like, you know what? Unfortunately, we live in dangerous times, and getting kicked off of platforms is probably important. It probably is supposed to happen. Hang on, let me take it back. Let me take it back. 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 I have to show you something. Take it back. I wasn't gonna show you, but I'm gonna show you anyway. I'ma show it. You hold your horses, Christine. I'm about to show it. Wait a minute. Did that work? Nope, that didn't work. Let's try it again. Let's try it again. Try it again. Didn't work. Try it again. Didn't work. Try it again. Oh, like that. Write it down. Make a note. Tanisha likes this. That way you don't need it. Is that big enough? That's not big enough. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold door. Hold the door. Hold door. Hold door. That was the most important scene from the entire Game of Thrones was hold door. You gotta hold the door for the next generation. Do not make your next generation dependent on criminal corporations to stay alive. Hold door. You got to hold door, hold door. That's what you gotta do right now. Hold door, hold door. Somebody sent this to me, I don't know.
On out-of-date Tamiflu, manufactured viruses.
Died, and it was determined that he had suffered from swine. 500 soldiers in Fort Dix, New Jersey came down with the flu in February of 1976. Private David Lewis died, and it was determined that he had suffered from swine flu. At the time, it was feared that approximately 500 other soldiers on the base were ill with the same strain of influenza, and the alarm was sounded. In March 76, President Gerald Ford announced the biggest immunization program in history.
This virus was the cause of a pandemic in 1918 and 1919 that resulted in over 500,000 deaths in the United States.
Ford's intention was to vaccinate every man, woman, and child in the United States. Vaccine was rushed into production and imported in great quantities. The cost was to be about $135 million. And the first batch of vaccine was delivered on November 1st. The first public swine flu clinic opened 3 weeks later. From the beginning, the program was criticized for being hastily implemented and unnecessary. But over 50 million people in North America were inoculated at a cost of $100 million before investigators discovered an apparent increase in a rare paralytic disorder called Guillain-Barré syndrome among the recently vaccinated.
Don't let it slip that we're literally doing the same damn thing. Don't let it slip. The 6% statistic that they put on the CDC website, that the vast majority died from things that were unnecessary, as a co-problem that we don't actually have to let corporations do to people to make profit, as opposed to attacking the little piece of the problem. You got a big problem globally, the pandemics that don't go anywhere, that have been around here for the last, when was Rockefeller allopathic medicine made? 1950s or wherever it was? It's been here since then. And we haven't dealt with that. So instead of dealing with that, we're taking a Band-Aid, perhaps a duct tape, which nobody knows is going to work, and wrapping that around the problem instead of dealing with the actual problem. Unnecessary. 99.8% survival.
This and the fact that the epidemic failed to materialize led to a quick end to the vaccination program in December 1976.
Researchers and experts now fear that the failure of the swine flu epidemic to materialize in 76 will have detrimental effects on preparations for future pandemics.
Which is why they got ready for the next one, to make sure that they had everybody in sync and everything in sync. We're not going to make sure that this does not fail again. We have the ability, we need to put through the quarantine statutes in place in most of the states. We need to be able to control the media. We need to be able to shut down, delete channels, delete people, delete videos, to make sure we control the narrative in case a actual problem comes again that's not a problem, that we don't have to back out of it. So what was she saying when she said that? What was the problem? That they didn't get everybody? You know how scary? And that maybe I'm hearing her wrong. Let me go back, because am I hearing that? Did I hear that wrong? That the experts were concerned that they didn't give it to everybody, even after knowing that it created Guillain-Barré syndrome?
Preparations for future pandemics. Dr. Arthur Silverstein have detrimental effects on Researchers and experts now fear that the failure of the swine flu epidemic to materialize in 76 will have detrimental effects on preparations for future pandemics.
So because it didn't materialize, it didn't become something bad, they want to prepare to make sure if something bad does come, I think is what she's saying, that they want to be prepared. Slightly better, still not okay.
Dr. Arthur Silverstein was an advisor to the U.S. Senate Health Committee in 1976 and has written a book about the swine flu scare. Dr. Silverstein, you called your book about the experiences of 76 pure politics, impure science. Why is that the right image for those experiences?
I think it's the right image because whereas one didn't then and still doesn't know all that much about the science of influenza virus, one knows a fair amount about how politics works in Washington. And politics worked very smoothly, although the science did not in the 76 flu outbreak.
Boom. That's the boom for me. You know why? Because based on where I'm sitting, politics is working very smoothly right now. Very smoothly. Science is not. Science is being censored. Right. It's not science unless you hear all sides. It's not science unless you look at all data. It's not science if you're censoring the opposition. It's not called science. It's called something else, but it's not science. But the political system is working like a fine-tuned engine. So there's no place for reality. There's no place for science. It's all about profit right now. Wow, totally repeat today back then, Marianne. That was my take on it as well. That was my take on it as well. That they're just doing the same thing. Right? They have a reason. They're waging a new war. It's a war on viruses as opposed to a war on terrorism, as opposed to a war on drugs. And we know what happened with the war on drugs. It created more drugs, brought more drugs in the country. What did war on terror do? It created more terrorists. So they keep fighting. It's about profit and money. That's what politics is when you have an oligarchy since 1871. A literal legislated oligarchy that's right in the face of people who still pull them levers to do that ritual voting. You have an oligarchy. They will always do what makes profit. You do not have a government. But people don't like to read, so this is where we are. All right, viruses, bacteria all around me. Yes, boom, get the money. Dollar bills, y'all. That's a good post and turn into a Biggie song. That's what I do. My Elijah, bite them Z ankles. Yes, Bex, and I have to say Z because that's just how we have to talk at this moment in time. Respond to their liking. A bunch of temple prostitutes playing up before your children's eyes. Yeah, what's obvious right now, Bex, a lot of people can see it. It's an obvious thing. The question is whether or not we're going to believe what our lying eyes are telling us or what our lying politicians want us to do. That ain't no woman, trachea, jaw, brown bridge, neck, shoulder with clavids. Got me there? I have no idea what we're talking about. See how successful Operation Mockingbird is. Oh, yes, Diane. Thank you for that piece of nugget. Yes. Operation Mockingbird. That was when they went around and they started just doling out money to the media to make sure that the narrative upholds. And that's exactly where we are today. The media and now social media is just joining the mainstream media. I think the problem was that people were actually starting to watch social media and get informed on things that were unpopular, weren't a part of the mainstream. So the mainstream, which was getting low views, like a lot of the networks were going bankrupt, right? And they would look and say, well, people, thousands of people are watching YouTube videos, millions of people are watching, those videos, thousands of people watching Facebook videos, and nobody's watching ABC, Fox, NBC, or the rest of them. All controlled by corporate dollars, all controlled by the politicians and the war machines, the war engines and the pharmaceutical engines. Those who actually buy the commercials dictate the content between the commercials, or they won't buy the commercial. So we literally have a system that's designed to lie to us. And now social media is just doing the mainstream media. It's literally the mainstream media right now. You can't actually have real discussions where you can post facts for people. You have to talk around the bush, which is what I'm trying to get good at doing. But eventually they'll get me too. War humanity is what it is. That's it, Angela. And everybody's got to pick a side. There are no other sides. You have humans and you have other. And whatever that other is, that's who the statists are supporting, right? Either human beings are going to be sovereign or whatever is taking control of the planet. All the different governments around it are going to take control. Those are the only two sides. There's no Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. There's no left versus right. There's no conservative versus liberals. There's no America versus Yemen or anywhere else. You have a human race that literally is being walked onto a slave plantation, or just making it public that we always were on a slave plantation. And you have those who are fighting against the masters and those who are fighting for the masters. You pegged that G. What I peg? Who's that, Naomi? Thank you, Naomi. I didn't know I pegged anything. That Naomi, you late. They actually have a mushroom now. Don't nobody got pegged nothing no more. The pegging days are over. Naomi, you got to go back to the beginning and watch it. I don't know if I pegged it. Somebody might have sniffed it. Talking about faking. They had to fake no more. Like, yeah, you doing great. Yeah, daddy. Mm-hmm. Go on, daddy. Mm-hmm. Woo! And I guess that works out for everybody to a degree, but it keeps men living a fake fantasy life. It's going to change a whole lot of things in the future, that damn mushroom. Anyway, we got to free the people. Bunch of temple prostitutes playing up before your children's eyes. Yes, it is. Straight up truth, G. Thank you, Bex. Hopefully it's a straight up truth. All are the true welfare recipients leeching on us. Yes, they are, Diane, and every statist is behind them. Now's the time for mass dissent in all ways. Now's the time for, breaking those divides. Or just walking our children onto the chattel plantation that is owned by the corporations that own all the politics. Misery loves company. It sure does, Jennifer, which is why I'm about to get the hell out of Dodge. There has to be an injured person or property for a crime that has been committed. Learn the law. The truth shall set you free. Very true. You gotta learn the law. Absolutely, I agree with that. I don't disagree with you at all. I'm just simply saying, at the end of the day, this spiritual war, they don't give two damns about the law. They will do what they want to do. That's my only point. But yes, absolutely stand up, know the law, because I think the first step is to operate within the law that we've already consented to, that basically we gave away all our rights. What's the whole mushroom thing? A Viagra equivalent? Oh, no, Ivana. No. The mushroom is not an equivalent to Viagra. Viagra is like a precondition. Viagra gives you a precondition. This is like a whole kit and caboodle. This is like a done. Time to go to work. Back to the TPS reports. This is the whole thing. This is to get a whole thing. There's no excitement, nothing. It's like, is my understanding. Anyway, I'm gonna try to stay away from that. Let me see. The advertising is following us. It is. The advertisers, Naomi, they hear everything. They're listening right now. They're determining what to show you and who to show you it with. Nobody answered that question the other day. I was asking them, I was like, who do you call if it's obvious that your NSA porn profile is not working? Mine is broken and nobody knows the number you're supposed to call. It should be 800 number. Because they keep showing me the wrong people on the cars and motorcycles and all the things that I need to buy. They literally put together advertisements based on what you like, what you click on, or what you search for in them little nasty websites y'all go to. Everybody has one. Your porn profile is your advertising profile. They know who to send to your door when they need you to buy something. Corporations have been doing that for a long time, which means government's been doing it since the beginning of time, or beginning of, they had the technology and software to do it. And it's all learning software. It's not people. It's just predictive analysis and software. And they're just watching you at all times. They know what you click on and what you don't. To show you news, to show you politics, to show you anything. This whole, I voted, and show you a guy that got that 6-pack and a pack of mushrooms on it. My herbalist saved me. Mine too, Bex. Mine too. It's the weirdest thing. When I started eating healthy, my body just magically started working like a human body. And it's funny how that works out, Bex. You think I would have known that. If you eat human food, you actually have a human immune system, which means that things on the human planet, the planet where humans evolved, won't actually be a killer. Looking at the big picture of the massive compliance is astounding to me. Yeah, it is. Looking at the big picture, Barbara Peters, and that's why we live in a wonderful time, because now we know. It's just people gotta have the will to want to go look instead of sit back wearing underoos of their leaders and hoping some hero is coming from an oligarchy to save them. I run to a drug dealer before I run to a doctor. And Christ, that might be true. Can I just not run to nobody? Can I just I don't think I don't have a doctor. I haven't had a doctor in damn near we gotta be right up on 15, 20 years. I'd not even been to the doctor. Last time it was with my son, and I was telling the doctor how crazy she is because she thought I need to be eating meat. I told that story. Mass words and flu shot recipients will be the ones who get sick. There was a statistic put out on that, Diane. I don't know how true that was, but it would make sense to me, right? From a mirror neuron perspective, right? When you watch TV and when you're watching it scares you. Like, we don't tell y'all not to watch TV because that it's just lying to you. It literally is telling your subconscious what to do in your body. You have a thing called a mirror neuron, and it manifests real things in your body. So you could actually be out walking around and people are coughing, and you're programmed already to, I know it's the virus. I know I got it. And the next thing you know, your body manufactures the symptoms. There was a documented case. This is when when I first learned about the mirror neurons a couple months ago. We knew the placebo effect and nocebo effect, but no one, or I didn't do the research to know what a mirror neuron is. It manifests in your body what you see. Right? And so when you see people getting sick on TV and you don't see them out the door, you don't see them out the window, you don't see them, damn it, where are they at the hospital? And there's only a few hospitals that are getting jacked up, not others, then your body will manifest those conditions. You know, so when it comes to mask wearers, yeah, it could be that they're just scared, right? Like wearing the mask could just be a side effect of already being scared, and that fear will do it. And this is why, like I said, I'll put on a mask if I'm asked. No, too strong. Never mind. I'll put on a mask. I'll put on a bandana when I know I'm around somebody who's scared, because you literally could make people sick. And so, no, I'm not for masks. I'm not against masks. We need to think about what just happened. And we need to pull the fear back, because government and corporations are going to use that fear and capitalize on as much as possible. They're going to take all the right. They will put shackles on every single one of us if our neighbors continue to be more scared of the common cold because they watch too much TV and handing the world to a 0.01% that literally owns all the media. Bring out your dead. Who said that, Bex? That was a Wilt Chamberlain. Bring out your dead. That was from The Stand. Y'all remember The Stand? Bring out your dead. Bring out your dead. It's a new one. There's a new one coming out, Bex. It's a new one. There's a new series. I think it's coming out I remember because I was looking at the date. It was like December the 6th or something like that on Netflix or something. It's like, we probably gonna be dead by then. I think I'm gonna miss that episode. I might not actually be able to watch it. They might kill all of us by then. They might hit that EMP or something. Oh, and that was where it first started, was Monty Python. Yeah, that's right, the Holy Grail. That's right. It was Wilt Chamberlain too, right? In The Stand. My aunt is 86 years old, had flu shots last winter, didn't social distance, and never got the cuckoo virus. Okay, all right. Well, you know what? I missed something under that. I'm gonna get out of here. Never got the cuckoo virus, but she lives an active lifestyle. But you know what, Ivana, where I'm at right now, like the common cold is out there, right? And it shifts every year. Well, it literally mutates every time it finds a new cell and recreates itself. It's always mutating. And every now and then you got, a new mutation that happens. And so whether it's a gain of function that was given through zoonosis or zoonosis, people need to be careful. I agree with that. People need to be careful. They don't need to abuse each other. So I'm not a big proponent of the flu shot, but people got to do what they got to do. First, you start with your own research. Never do anything I tell you to do. Don't do anything anybody else tells you to do. Do your own research and make your own decisions up. When I worked in Big Pharma, Ivana, I saw enough and I heard enough, which just said I have no interest. I've never had a flu shot in my life. But it is a common cold. It's going to affect people in different ways. Could be modified, could not be. But if you don't eat healthy foods and you don't take care of yourself and you don't exercise and you don't, not have stress, you're going to have problems. The planet evolved around human beings that ate human food and stayed active. Fear is the virus. Bex, there's no question whether or not fear is the virus. There's a lot of psychological things that are happening right now. We don't seem to know that. Smith-Mundt Act, if Trump continues to not fix it, so it's illegal to propagandize, then his fight with the press is all fake. Be true. We gotta talk about that for a minute. We're gonna talk about that for a minute. Somebody gave me a theory. I use pronouns loosely these days. Okay, so what happens between now and Trump leaving? Could be interesting. It could be interesting. I think I mentioned this the other day, Be True. I don't know if you were here. I'm hoping that he taps into some of that sociopathy and narcissism and all of that stuff, kicks in, he gets pissed off. They just stole the election for me. Like, all of this could have been designed to go this way. And he just flips out. He's like, the aliens are real. They meet at the White House. The media's lying. Here's the proof. JFK was killed by blah, 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 blah. The Invention Secrecy Act is hiding all the free energy devices, keeping fossil fuel to keep them in power. He might pull that at the end if he taps into that showman and he's pissed off type stuff. But absolutely, from a lying to the people perspective, they have that propaganda act, which means that they can take your tax dollars and lie up the common cold into a pandemic. That should bother everybody here. That's part of one of the main reasons why I did not vote this time around. I have no interest in it at all. If you tell me that you are going to lie to me and I'm going to pay for it, is you crazy? Is you crazy or stupid? Do I look like somebody that's going to vote for you and you claim the authority to lie to me? And we got real human beings that live in this country. We got real people that are starving. They need houses, food, freedom, land. Be left the hell alone. We got a mass incarceration and we got wars everywhere. And you pass a law that says you can lie to me, called the Propaganda Act. And I know that that's related in ways to Smith-Munn Act, but it would be interesting. I don't think he'll do it. I don't think he's stupid. I don't think he's crazy. I don't think he's stupid, because the deep state will kill him and everybody that look like him. And the other people be clapping and cheering like, yay, stop racism. We got it. We got it. Like this racism right there. We got it. Yay. All right, I gotta go. Ooh, all right, listen, this is Gerard. Love y'all to death. I shall read the comments later. Y'all have a wonderful day. Do not ever cast arrows before swine. You are not swine. Your energy is not wasted until you give it to pigs. And the pigs usually the ones who are sitting in the office. Never, ever, ever cast your pearls before swine. Your energy, your time,